Oh, hello, hi. Hello. Okay, this is like my very first YouTube video presentation. While we're talking about effective communication. Hey, first, what is communication? Communication itself is the passing and receiving of information via verbal or non-verbal medium. Non-verbal medium like where you have to say spoken words to each other and what have you. Effective communication in itself is when your audience, that's who you are talking to or who you're listening to, is able to receive and understand the message you are passing across. Like exactly one time, they can receive what you're trying to say. They understand the message you're trying to pass across to them. Some of the effective communication skills that we have are okay, the use of concise sentences, organized thoughts, effective pauses, confident nonverbals. Like you have to be heavy on your use of body language, gesture, facial expression, and also summing up at the end of everything you're saying. Write a brief recap or a kind of summary of everything you have been talking about. Let's get how we can put it into practical use. So, how can you improve your communication skills? First, you respond rather than reacting. What does this mean? It means like before you give a response or before you reply to something, you always think first before giving your own reaction. Don't just before responding, don't just react on an impulse or react immediately you receive a kind of feedback or information or message or what have you. Also, you have to be present. This is when you are listening, not delivering. You have to be an attentive listener. Now, yeah, your audience just wants you to listen to what they have to say. So try not to interrupt them. Focus on each and every word they are saying without interrupting. You can even like go back and forth or repeat whatever they've said when they eventually ask for a feedback or a response from you. Like, okay, so you said so. You said this is why you have to do this, right? You said this was what later happened, right? Before giving your response, it builds this kind of rapport and makes them understand that you actually are flowing with them and you understand what they are trying to say. Also, we have the use of good and positive language. Your gestures, this still has to do with your gestures and your body language. When you're talking and then you're gesticulating with your hand, you're describing what you're trying to say, or you are trying to like relate it to things around or things common to the both of you, or if it's a large audience to all of you. The use of gestures and body language in itself actually influences your own personal mind. It builds this kind of confidence, especially when you're so sure of what you want to say, when you know what it is you're talking about. So, the best way to improve your communication skills is to always practice. Always practice everything I've said now. Respond rather than reacting on impulse. Always be present, like be an attentive listener. Use good and positive language. Communicate with gestures. Use relatable examples, relatable items. Always practice using them. And when you are faced with, let's say, like your first public speaking, or someone comes to you and is like, okay, I have so problem, can you just listen to me? At that point, they are not expecting you to compare it with whatever you are faced. But all they need is for you to listen to them. You'll be surprised how much people feel better after like just pouring out their heart to someone and saying everything, their pain and all, without anyone interrupting them or trying to be like, okay, I also experienced this, so I know someone that this also happened to. You get. So finally, if it is a formal setting of speaking, always ask for feedbacks. Negative or positive feedbacks help you grow. And so it is very, very essential that you ask for one. Yeah, the brief key point, effective communication, it is a two-way thing. It is always not about you. It is about your audience, not you. Don't make the conversation all about you as if you are speaking to yourself. Then when you have to listen, do not interrupt. Do not interrupt. Just listen to whatever the person is saying. Present information in a way your audience will understand. And if it is a formal setting of speaking, always ask for feedbacks. Finally, thank you very much for listening.